two plants. Starting time, it can synchronize to the grid system within 4 hours, because we require steam at temperature and speed. It takes some time, whereas in case of HPS, it can be synchronized within 5 minutes, and it is a in between time takes to synchronize, because here also we require the steam. And last, the maintenance cost high, because here required highly skilled persons, more number of skilled persons required, whereas the hydropower station less number of skilled persons less enough, whereas very high, because here is the highly skilled trained persons are required for maintenance purpose. These are the some merits and demerits of individual power plants. For example, if you are taking the hydropower station, its cost per unit is very less, and tariff to region of that consumer is very less, but it is should be same for all consumers. Then we have to combine connecting all stations, then total cost by total units, then the cost per unit reduces. That is known as the interconnected system. Here grid system, what do you mean by grid system? When two generating stations work in combination to supply the electrical energy to the consumer is known as interconnected system. If two power stations connected, then it is known as interconnected system. More than two power stations connected is known as the grid system. That is, you might have in here the word, the National Grid, Power Grid Corporation. This is the combining all power plants throughout country and maintaining the power generation depend upon load. Now, so combining these all stations, what are the advantages? Now, see it. Advantages of interconnected power plants. 1. Reliability of power supply, reduction of installed capacity. Number 3, reduction of reserve capacity. Number 4, more economical. Number 5, effective use of transmission line. Number 6, capital and running cost is less. Number 7, cost per unit reduces. Number 8, possible to use old and less efficient plants. 9, better variation of maximum demand and diversity factors. So, what do you mean by reliability reduction, this one? So, we can see one by one details. Now, here is a reliability of power supply. Here two stations, one is the TPS, another is the HPS. Here is my load, here is a nearby substation. I contracted from TPS, they have to supply to our industry, then you will supply. So, you can see they are supplying the energy to our system. Suppose if any fault occur in this system in TPS, then what happen? I can take, it can supply it by another station, no bother about the interruption. This is possible only if the system, the all power plants interconnected. This is reliability of power supply. Next, so another is reduction of installed capacity. That means here the industry or load center. Now, it is the contracted from TPS, my profits are more, then I extended my plant, I taken 500 kilowatts HP kilowatts of another motor, but they will tell no generation. If meet the load demand, they have to erect another unit. It will take time, costly, then at that time the supply may be supplied from nearby station, power station. You can see, first of all, they are supplying the only from TPS. So, you can see here. Now, I increase the load demand, then they both will supply to our load centers. This is possible in case of only interconnected system. Now, you can say another reduction of reserve capacity. So, normally every station has one extra generator which is run when one of its running generator is shut down for repairs or maintenance work. Here you can see it. Just here, this is a one reserve capacity. Installed is the 3 units, but only 2 are running, one is reserved. If any problem occurs, it will start it. If country having more number of stations, each and every station if having one means total the number of reserve capacities increases, its capital cost, its running cost increases. If the system is isolated, if the system is interconnected, no need of extra 1 unit each and every stations, only 2 units are connected extra in interconnected system, that is enough. So, it is possible by using this system. You can see the practical example is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, only 4 will run, 1 is a reserve. If interconnected, 5 will run, supply the load. Another is more economical. During the rainy season, water available is sufficient, then at that time the base load power plant as a hydropower plant, at that time the peak load power plant as a TPS. Then if in summer season, the base load plant as a TPS and peak load plant as a HPS. By combination of 2 plants, the cost per unit reduces. This more economical operation is possible in interconnected system. Now, so another advantage is effective use of transmission lines. Each and every station, so if isolated, out of 3 units only 2 is working and same power is transmitted by using these transmission lines. If interconnected, the 3 units will run and will carry the 100% the use of these lines. It carries the 100% of power. Then we can use the effective use of transmission line in case of interconnected system. Now, another advantage, the capital and running cost is less. Instead of using small generating units, if you are using the large unit, we can reduce the capital and running cost, because suppose the small unit maintenance purpose we require the 3 persons and big unit maintenance purpose 4 members. Even the number of operators required is somewhat less, more equal. Then instead of small units, if you are using the big unit, the operators reduces, its salary reduces. This is possible in case of interconnected system. Now, here is you can see the cost of the unit. So, another is the overall cost per unit. Already we have seen the HPS, the cost per unit reduces and efficiency is more, and by interconnecting the system the cost per unit reduces. Next advantage, possible to use old and less efficient plants. So, if that is a good plants working for compensate the load demand, if load is increased suddenly or exceeds our generation capacity, then so we can use the old and less efficient plant for only fraction of hours in a day, then we can utilize that system. This is possible in case of interconnected system. And is the last, the better variation of maximum demand and diversity factor. Due to interconnected system, maximum demand on the station reduces and diversity factor improved. This is that means if only one station, then there is a possibility of low demand as a burden on the station. If interconnected system, there is a possibility to divert which having the less demand, then the supply is supplied to the load centers. So, now in this class we have seen the power station auxiliaries, these auxiliaries in substation like bus bar, station transformer, station batteries, PLCC, power line, carrier communication, exciters. And in second part, combined working of power plants, in which we have seen what do you mean by grid system, what are the advantages of the interconnected power system. I think you are very familiar about these 2 topics.